Yo, so what's going on, y'all? I wanna do a video today, just kind of talk to you guys about, why you shouldn't think so hard. It's something that, I came across, realizing that I just thought too hard. And I know you're probably thinking like, man, why is he in the car doing this video? Or maybe that's not what you're thinking, but I'm gonna talk about if you were thinking about that, because guess what? Like right now, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, why is this dude in the car kind of thing, right? But basically, man, what happened, y'all, is I got ready to do my video today, and I got all the way to, the location, thinking, I'll use this convenient location and it'll be pretty cool to do my video there instead of, in the studio where I normally do the videos. And I got all the way to the place, the spot. I felt like I had a really cool background and everything like that. And I like just completely left my memory card, you know what I mean? So that wasn't cool. Let me recline this seat so I can get comfortable. But basically, I think that you shouldn't think too hard. You know what I mean? I had an Asian lady that I was driving Uber for a couple of days ago, and that's why you're seeing the wonky partition, kind of wonky reflection, is because there's a partition in the middle right there. But I basically, I was riding with the lady, and I was just kind of talking about how I don't want to be, driving Uber all the time in order to make it to my, my financial goals and things like that. When I'm working on my independent musician career, or just working on my music career. I want to get out of saying independent musician, like it's cool, I'm indie and everything like that, but I think the reason why we get caught up in saying that all the time is because the stigma of like having a record deal gets such a bad rep, because it should, you know what I mean? Like honestly, y'all know that people were getting ripped off and left and right, for their musicianship and their their songs and their talent and stuff like that. But anyway, my point is just that I caught myself like just really complaining in a crazy way to, super cool Asian lady that was riding with me. She was probably like in her 40s, so she's like old enough to be like an older sister to me and everything like that. And so she was telling me, she was like, yo, like, don't try not to think too hard. And a couple of reasons she talked to me about it when she was saying was just like, and things that I thought about in terms of like why I think too hard and all of that kind of stuff. And man, I really hope the audio quality ends up being good, because I'm using like these it's not a plug at all, but I'm using these like Monster hands-free kind of headphones right now. So I'm not sure how the quality is on these, because these are like the headphones, the speakers that you use when you're like taking a phone call or whatever, but I hope it's cool. But anyway, like I'm driving the lady, the Asian lady, her name was Lulu. So I'm driving Lulu and everything like that. And while I'm driving her, I start thinking while she's talking about reasons why you shouldn't think so hard. And kind of some of the things that came across my mind was just like, think about it. Like if you think too hard about something that you don't want to do, like say for example, you got a goal, you want to, I don't know, you want to make a bunch of songs, or you want to make an album, or you want to create a painting or something like that. A lot of times, like, our goals are different a little bit from the things that we actually want. And what I mean by that is sometimes we have to, work hard and double down, doing work in a type of way that will help set you up, for a position you want to be in. Like, for example, like I'm doing like 365 songs this year. I'm making a song per day. And I'm hoping that this will like not only reposition my mirror real quick so I can see better while I'm driving, but my hopes are that, doing that many songs will kind of like catapult my career, you know what I mean, even more, or it'll help to, gain the attention, of people out there that are looking to discover more music. The more music I have out there, I feel like it could also give me a better rate of discovery, if you will, and then also it's like I just want to make the music, because in my opinion, I always give people the analogy, y'all will probably hear it a billion more times this year on the channel, but it's like, excuse me, like my sinus has been acting funny. It's getting crazy out here in Atlanta. I think we're right in between the cusp of actually getting spring weather like on a regular basis, you know, instead of it like in the morning time here in Atlanta, it's like 30, 40 degrees. Man, I need some chapstick. It's like 30, 40 degrees, you know, at 6, 7, 8 a.m. And then all of a sudden at the peak of noon or something like that, it's like between 70 and 84 degrees. It's crazy weather right now. We experience, some people tell the joke about Atlanta, and they say, you know, that you can experience all 4 seasons in in one day, which is super accurate. I wouldn't say it's anything different from that, you know what I mean? But anyway, like the analogy that I always give people is that, you know, a chef is a chef not because, you know, they make an amazing meal every single day. Like a chef is a chef because they inevitably show up every single day. Let me try to get over real quick. You know, there's a whole bunch of crazy potholes in this one particular lane that I'm in. If I don't get out this lane, then y'all will get all of these like crazy micro jitters, you know, through the, you know, the inability for my camera to be able to have like really, really good stabilization, which right now, unfortunately, because I left my memory card for my audio, for my audio recorder, you all aren't having the opportunity to get the same quality of audio that you normally get when I'm talking. You can't get it today because your boy Patrick Gregory Daniels left his memory card, his SD card, at the house. So I was good to go with the camera, but the audio wasn't ready. But anyway, my point, the analogy is that, you know, like that chef, right? Like a chef is a chef because they show up, you know what I mean? Like on a daily basis. Like that's what it's about. Like it's kind of like, you know, I'd imagine that if you were a father or a mother, you know, it's not about showing up for like that one birthday or whatever. You know, it's about showing up every day. It's the days in sequence that count, you know, towards what you do in life. And so, you know, we were talking about like not thinking too hard about it, because the thing about it is like every single day that you approach, you know, what it is that you're going after, that's how you make it happen. You know what I mean? You make it happen like that. You don't make it happen by, and the thing is, when you overthink it and you think too hard, the brain is so strong. Like our minds are so strong. I'm pretty sure right now, like for example, think of something right now that you could be doing while you're watching this video. Now, I don't want you to like jump off my video right this minute, but think about something that you could be doing and just type it in the comment section. And I'm sure that, like, you know, whenever, you know, people discover the video and whenever you see the video, there's something else that you could be doing. But while you're sitting there thinking about this thing that you know, that you could be doing right now at this moment, think a little bit harder about that thing. You know what I mean? Big bump. But like the thing about it is you can think yourself out of it. That's how powerful you are about thinking. That's why it's so important that you don't think too hard about things, you know? I was talking to y'all about like driving Uber and everything like that, you know, in between, you know, just, you know, taking care of the usual obligations and things of that nature that we have as, you know, teenagers, adults. It doesn't matter, you know, you got things that you got to take care of and do that you don't necessarily want to do. And sometimes, like, your mind is not a powerful muscle to be using, you know, in the moment when you need to be accomplishing something. You know, you need to be trying to figure out how can you, you know, mindlessly just go ahead and decide to do what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Because if you think about it too long, you'll think yourself out of it. And, you know, I'm gonna tell y'all just kind of like another technique or a thing that I do, you know, when I'm, you know, trying to get things accomplished. And I'm not trying to, like, you know, think too hard. You know, a lot of people do like to-do lists and stuff like that, right? Well, I don't think the to-do list is a really accurate or effective way of kind of like doing things for people that are, you know, trying to challenge themselves to accomplish more and double down and outwork others, you know, because you might just have like a pretty competitive spirit like I do. I'm very competitive, you know. At one point, I thought that I was actually jealous. I was like, yo, like, feeling like I'm a little bit jealous of like my friends that are musician wise, you know, in their careers had more success than me, you know, and I feel like I started doing, you know, what they're doing like a long time ago. And I was like, okay, like, am I jealous? Like, what is this, you know? And I realized like it took like 2 days for me to really like just zone in and realized that like it wasn't jealousy that I was coming across. What I was coming across was my competitive nature. You know, you know, you coming down the basketball court, it's like, yo, I'm finna dunk on this fool. Or like somebody coming down the court and you like, yo, I'm about to steal this ball from them. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be me. You know what I mean? Like, if you have that kind of competitive edge, you know, in your spirit and towards terms of the way, I need to hurry get over. Man, the traffic in Atlanta is really, really aggressive. So it'll turn, you know, the most peaceful, calm drivers into more aggressive drivers. And, you know, I'm born and raised here, so I'm used to the, you know, the driving patterns, how fast people drive, and I can tell when it's getting like real crazy in the city and stuff like that. But anyway, my point is, you know, we're talking about competitive spirit right now, competitive nature. And what competitive spirit and competitive nature leads you to do, if you recognize it, you know, within yourself, is it leads you to, I don't want to say outdo others, but you want to outwork others. And I found that, you know, a really good technique for me in terms of like outworking others was making a done list. It's, you know, you limit the amount that you're thinking about things. You think like, it's kind of like if you were to, you know, imagine yourself like running around in a really, really large room, right? So you got all kind of places that you can run to because the space is huge, right? So take the analogy of running around in a large room and then simplify it to running around in a small room. And what I would imagine is if you run around in a small room versus running around in a large room, you have a lot less, you know, space, obviously. So take that analogy of running around in a large room and a small room and relate that to how freely you allow your mind to think about the things you want to do, the things you want to accomplish, whether it's like personal goals, whether it's career goals, whether it's like a big dream, you know, whether it's a financial thing, you know, it could be anything. For me, I told you, like my example was like, you know, trying to create this career as a musician. And so what I'm endeavoring to, you know, kind of try to describe, you know, to you right now is that imagine yourself like just not allowing yourself to think so widely and hugely. Like you could think right now and let 3 ideas flow through your mind, but like decide to think and like allow only 1 idea to flow into your mind. And while you're doing something like that, let that be like the things I need to do for today. Like for example, right now I'm thinking like, okay, the first thing I need to do is number 1, I need to drive safe while I'm making this video, right? Number 2, like I need to actually get the video done, get the video accomplished. You know what I mean? So like if I'm focusing on getting the video done and getting the video accomplished, then that's one thing. And so what I would endeavor to tell you, the technique is, and I'm trying to, you know, kind of describe to you, is do a thing and then do the check off, you know, the thing on your to-do list. Don't like give yourself like a whole bunch of stuff to do, like a big long list. People call it a to-do list, right? Well, what I call it is a to-done list, you know, or a done list. You know, just check off the thing. Like allow your mind to think of one thing that you need to do at a time. Once you get one thing that you know you need to do it. Then after you do it, write it down and check it off. And then allow yourself, your mind, to have one other thing that you can do. And so kind of what I'm trying to get at you all is that, you know, that's one technique you can do in order to make sure that you kind of like, number 1, don't think too much. Don't think too much about anything. And also like to like get things done. Like you want to get things accomplished and check them off the list. But, you know, I appreciate y'all rolling with me. I was kind of endeavoring to try to like go 20 minutes for this video, you know, because I thought the timing would be cool. I thought, oh, maybe I can get like, I can grow my watch time and increase my click-through rate and all of those types of things. But right now, honestly, I think I've like satisfied, you know, my topic matter. The thing I wanted to talk about was just don't think too hard, you know? Thinking too hard, your mind is powerful. If you think hard enough, your mind will give you ways to support not doing the thing. Because at the end of the day, like, we just kind of want to be free. We kind of just want to relax. We kind of just want to be in the world, you know, do things when we want to and how we want to. And the world doesn't really work like that. you know, when you're trying to establish yourself and get yourself going. Maybe there is a time when you can do what you want when you want. I haven't got to that point. So, you know, let me know in the comment section if you've made it to that point where you can just do whatever you want when you want to do it. But my thing is, like, you know, don't think too hard. You know, I learned it from Lulu, like I was telling y'all earlier, is don't think too hard, because you could think yourself out of it. But if you just think a little bit and then check that box and get that thing done, you know what I mean? You'll feel a lot better when you look back at it. You know, don't let your brain control you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's honestly in my respects. You know, I think and I feel that that's my time. That's my time. I've satisfied my topic matter, my subject matter that I was thinking about. You know, and I'm proud of, you know, where we are, you know, with this whole thing. So don't think too hard. I got my video done right now. You know, I got the checking that check box. You know, I was endeavoring to maybe do a video every single day. I want to go daily on YouTube, because it was like, man, I was like, yo, man, my older brother makes money on YouTube. He does a great job. He's able to provide for his family through, you know, sharing these amazing stories that he shares on his channel and everything like that. And, you know, I got my scholarship, you know, on YouTube, you know, back in the day, back in 2006, you know, and I'm like, man, you know, if I can outwork everybody on YouTube and continue to go, which will inevitably, hopefully, you know, be indicative of my growth, then, you know, maybe I can grow in this thing and be able to take care of my family and be able to, you know, buy some tools to, you know, maybe do things better, you know, and yeah, so that's kind of where I am with everything. But, you know, I'm trying not to think too hard. Peace, y'all. Thanks for watching.